Let me get some light on you. I mean, who's the bigger dinosaur, T-Rex or Brad Pitt? You know what I'm saying?
The joke is because he's young.
He's young.
Dinosaurs come, dinosaurs go. Brad Pitt's
forever. Whether you like it or not.
Imagine if actors had their own franchises named after themselves. So you got Brad Pitt. It's the first movie. Brad Pitt Returns.
Okay.
Brad Pitt Forever. Brad Pitt and Robin.
Still.
Brad Pitt still.
Brad Pitt and Robin. Yeah.
Yeah. Brad Pitt Begins.
Brad Pitt.
The Dark Pit.
Brad Pitt goes again.
Yeah. The Dark Pit Rises.
The Light Pit rises because he's getting closer to the sun.
The Final Brad.
The pit has risen.
Yeah. Bad
Brad.
Wait, that's a tongue twister right there.
Brad brings back.
Bad Man Returns. Bradman Returns. There we go. Hey, we're not talking about Batman at all.
No,
there's probably not going to be a Batman movie in a while because apparently it's been stalled for a while. What is it? That Robert Pattinson
on his cape.
Batman movie. Yeah, they for some reason they're just they're still writing it, or maybe I think they've just written the new one, and who knows what's happening with the DC universe? They're just they're trying to reboot it, resell, rehash, rebirth,
Rihanna.
Rehash Browns. Brown Pit. Hash Brown Pit returns.
But you should never rehash your browns. You should never cook hash browns twice. You cook them once, and they're crispy.
Beans are okay.
Oh, yeah.
Refried beans are okay.
Refried beans are lovely.
Yeah. Refried hash browns, no way.
No.
Rehash.
Brad brings refried beans and bread.
Emporium. Yeah. Was there a there was an idea for a cold open, wasn't there? What was it? The
Oh, it was just going to be me pretending to be a dinosaur and you doing vroom vroom car sounds.
And then the opening jingle, which I unfortunately forgot to include last week.
Oh yeah.
Oopsie daisy.
We were going to bring it back from the dead and make it undead.
That's right. So
bring all three things together.
Go on. You started off, and then we'll go into the
okay.
The
I don't know how. Okay.
Whoa! I think I might have to cut that out.
No,
I don't know. Was that a zombie? It sounded
a zombie. That was like a zombie, like his eyes.
You need to be slower. You need to be slower than that.
I was trying to do it with the melody, you know.
Slower and gravelier, but no, with the melody.
What? Like,
yeah, there we go. There we go.
And then just. I was going for jingle. That's the problem. The first one, I was going for raspy. Shouldn't have done it.
No. And now that's your voice ruined for the rest of the recording. We're back with another episode of Chatting Pitch with me, Leslie, one half of Chatting Pitch.
And me, Matthew D. Smith, the other half of Chatting Pitch. What are we talking about this week, Leslie? Why are we making so many silly noises?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that we want to talk about because last week we talked about 28 years later, but we didn't have a chance to pitch anything. So that's what we're going to be doing probably on the second half of this podcast. But the first half, we're going to be reviewing a movie that just came out. And that's right. It just came out, and it's a retelling. It's a rebirth. It's a rehash of many other movies prior to this.
It's Jurassic Universe.
Jurassic. I don't know why. It seems really clunky now. You know, we had Jurassic Park.
Mm.
And then the second one was just straight up called The Lost World. No Jurassic Park in it at all, because that was the sequel of the Michael Crichton book.
Yes.
Is that right? And then the third one, Jurassic Park 3, or Jurassic Park 3 slashes.
Yeah.
From a raptor.
Jurassic Park, I. Those
Jurassic Park
dinosaurs,
111.
those dinosaurs, they know their Roman numerals. Because, of course, that's when they became extinct, wasn't it? When the Romans beat
when the
them up.
Romans came. That's it. You can fact check us on that.
Yeah, dinosaurs go home.
And then they decided to go Jurassic World. Like, okay, so they've dropped the numerals for the one time they used it. And then they made a couple of others that were somewhat forgettable. I never saw the third one of the Reboot franchise.
I couldn't do it.
I never saw Dominion, so I don't know what that was all about. I heard it wasn't very good. I still probably will check it out, but I am in no rush. However, we've got Jurassic Park 7.
Yeah, Jurassic Park 7, Jurassic World 4.
So dumb.
I know.
But it's called Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah.
But it might as well just be called Jurassic World Rehash, because there is, well, here, why don't we start with the positives?
Let's talk story.
Let's talk story and then talk about positives.
Okay.
The story is, it's been established that dinosaurs roam the earth amongst civilization. We start off with a cold open with, was it Scarlet? No, it was in a lab, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a rehash of the original Jurassic Park. In the original, you've got all the people trying to get the Velociraptor into its habitat, its cage.
Yeah.
And then things go wrong. And it's sort of a rehash of that, where it's a lab, but they're all funky dinosaurs. Like there's a two-headed one. There's one with a cup of tea. Hello. And then there's another one, the D-Rex, the D-Box experience. And things go wrong pretty quickly and for a pretty stupid reason, but I won't spoil it.
D for dinosaur.
D for dumb.
I was sat in D, the D row.
You were sat in the D row, yeah.
Yeah,
well
D for the.
I was sat in row M for my goodness.
What a
I was sat in the row M for movie.
Oh, there we go.
What are we doing?
Hey,
anyway,
moving
it's
on.
a world that's gotten used to and apparently bored of dinosaurs being around.
Yep.
Dinosaurs now live. There's a small band around the equator. It's explained to us at least 3 times that that's the only area of the planet that dinosaurs can live on, because the world has changed since they were around. And then that area is strictly off limits to people. But then we meet Rupert Friend, who's looking very fake tanned in this. But then
is he?
I'll go more into that later.
Can I be honest with you? When he first came on the screen, I thought it was Orlando Bloom.
He is a bit Orlando Bloomish.
Doppelganger. Yeah. A dead ringer.
If you can't get one, you can get the other. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like that guy from Prometheus. If you can't get Tom Hardy, you get that guy.
Logan Marshall.
Logan Marshall. Yeah.
Logan Marshall Green, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
He was very good in another movie called Upgrade. It was basically Venom, but better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, funny. There you go.
Funny enough, Tom Hardy's in Venom.
Tom Hardy.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about
rhymes with denim.
That's right. D for denim.
D for denim. D for dinosaurs.
M for movie.
And then we're introduced to Rupert Friend, who's in charge of. It's not InGen anymore. It's Gen X. InGen,
which is probably the
Musk,
generation that wrote this movie.
Yeah, probably. If a human being did indeed write this script. And then he comes along and he promises Scarlett Johansson a big wad of cash if she goes to that area of the world to go and get DNA samples from 3 of the largest creatures that live there. And they'll use that to make medicine, which they'll sell for billions, if not trillions of dollars. And that's pretty much the setup.
Mm-hmm. Who else have we got in the movie? Mahershala Ali.
Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah, Jonathan Bailey. Recently in Wicked.
Rupert Friendly.
friendly. Who else was in there? Oh, and a family are also in this movie. Who I have comments about that plot line,
Okay.
but anyway, yeah, that's the general gist without having to spoil it. But obviously, we all know there's going to be dinosaurs. You know, straight off the bat at the beginning, there's they teased genetically mutated dinos, which was also part of the Jurassic World movie. That was the same plot line there, where they had the what was it, the ID Rex or something like that?
Something
iRex,
like that.
yeah, the iPhone, the iPad.
I like the idea of an ID Rex.
Yeah,
is he checking other people's ID, is he?
He's showing everyone his ID. It's like
he's just got every form.
I'm the first dinosaur with ID.
Library card, Waitrose card. I got it all. What do you need?
So that's the plot, right? Stuff happens, and I'm just going to start with
Ed Screen's also in it.
Ed Screen is not Ed Little Screen Time.
Ed Little Screen Time. I like that they I guess they struggled with his character name, and they thought, well, where are all his scenes? Okay, we'll just call him Bob Atwater.
Right. He really didn't need to be in that movie. I mean, I feel like he's a decent actor, but I feel like he was underutilized.
I thought he was going to be in it longer. Yeah. This is major spoilers, by the way. But it's kind of obvious when you see it.
No, he could probably... Maybe he just left. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows, baby? We're not saying anything.
He had to go because his planet needed him.
Needed him. My dinosaur planet needs me. So let's start with the positives.
Hoisted up his umbrella and he flew into the air.
That's right, just like Meryl Streep. Dino Poppins. So let's start with the positives. I thought it looked, for the most part, great, I think, because Gareth Edwards comes from a cinematography background. He comes from a VFX background. He famously did his first feature film on his own computer at home. And he's very much...
That was just, it was pretty much like holiday footage. And he just...
I think so. Yeah,
whacked some VFX over the top of it and made it.
Yeah. I didn't go too far deep into that. I remember watching it thinking like, wow, this is a slow burn. But critics seemed to like it. Audience seemed to hate it. But that also landed him in loads of big blockbuster movies. Like, what else did he do? He did Godzilla.
He did Godzilla, yeah.
He did Rogue One, Star Wars story. He did The Creator, which I personally really liked. You weren't really on board with it.
I didn't hate it. I wasn't.
I'm a sucker for those middling sci-fi movies.
I liked that it was trying to do a lot of interesting things.
Yeah.
At least it swung for the fences. It wasn't just...
It was a movie based on aesthetics, I thought. It was like, look at this gorgeous shot. Look at all these cool robots.
It was gorgeous. Yeah. And this movie is quite something in terms of visuals, but because he knows how to stage and shoot large creatures. Yeah.
He's really good with his scale. He's a good sense of scale. And yeah, I'd say it looked great. Action scenes, for the most part, is what you go in for, you know, were... I would be lying if I didn't say there were moments where I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, oof. What's going to happen next? On the edge of your
recliner sofa bed.
Yeah, on the edge of my shoulder-to-shoulder Lux recliner with a random person. And I was worried about crunching my popcorn too loud, but it didn't seem to be a problem in the end, and it was all in my head.
It was all okay, and you two got on famously. Yeah. What else did you like?
I think that's about it.
Cut
really.
To mid-break jingle.
I think that's about it. No, that's about it. Really, I liked the visuals and I liked the action set pieces. Couldn't say much about the music. I felt like it was kind of remixing John Williams' score.
Yeah,
for the most part. Performances were fine. You know, for what it was, the performances were fine. Some, well, there's performances and then there's characters. And I think this is where we're getting into the negatives here.
Yeah.
Characters were paper thin. There wasn't much to them. They tried to do some stuff, but they were mainly just to get from A to B.
Yes.
I also found a lot of tropes very much almost verbatim to Jurassic Park. Like there were scenes where I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing this now. Like when Sam Neill's character first sees the Brontosaurus, we have that exact scene. I think that's in the trailers as well.
I'd be remiss. I'm sorry. It's a Brachiosaurus.
Is it a Brachiosaurus?
Sorry, I can't not correct.
That's okay. You are the dino expert.
Well,
of the two of us.
This reminded me of it's 50% Jurassic Park, 50% a book that I read to my 4-year-old called If Dinosaurs Came to Town.
Which is the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, they even had the fishing boat and then all the fish I quite like the shot as well. Did you see where the fishing net opens and all the little fish fall away? And then there's the giant head of a little Dunkleosteus.
I didn't see. I think I missed that part.
Oh, that's early on. Yeah.
It's quite early on. Oh, I
anyway,
missed it.
yes, rehashing. You were saying rehashing.
Yeah, that
movie.
Scene where they reveal the dinosaurs and they're like, dinosaurs are beautiful. And then there was that scene where, what's his name? Jonathan Bailey. He's the dinosaur scientist, and paleontologist.
A dinosaur scientist is a velociraptor in a lab coat.
Yeah, with little glasses. Yeah. Are
they the glasses that like are connected as well?
Yeah, with the little piece of string. Yeah, so when it falls off, he doesn't lose them. That's right. No, Jonathan Bailey. He gets very emotional at seeing these dinosaurs to the brink of tears. And that scene just seemed like just verbatim to that first scene of the dinosaurs. From the first movie, they also have the obligatory... I don't know if this is getting into spoilers now, but there is a scene that is very similar to another scene from the first Jurassic Park.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk about it in spoilers.
Talk about that in spoilers. Yeah, that's about it, really. That's the first of the negatives. Second of the negatives, I guess, the story just seemed pretty cookie cutter to me.
I don't know if you'd agree with this, that especially some of the opening scenes, some of the dialogue and some of the scenes almost seems like placeholders.
You think so? Almost, like what?
As in like the museum scene where they first meet, not Rupert Friend, where Rupert Friend and Scarlett Johansson meet Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah.
That scene in particular, but there were a few others, it felt like, oh, this scene is not good, but we'll rewrite it. And then they just never did.
Okay.
And then they just shot it how it was. And
First draft, print and...
Yeah, print and done.
Done. So there's that. There's a lot of member berries in it. Like the first shot of the museum, you see the banner.
Yeah. Which is rehashing the first Jurassic World again.
Yeah.
It's not as egregious in the same way that the product placement isn't quite as egregious. Although, man, I got to love me a Snickers.
Hey, at one point, I don't know if you saw it, but I got there was one product that really stood out to me because I actually buy this product.
Okay.
And it's Regina Blitz kitchen towels. It was just front and center, and I was like,
mopping up all the man. It's amazing how what were they called again?
Regina Blitz.
This sounds like an advert in itself. Man, it's great how these Regina Blitz towels just mop up all the blood. Look, just one sheet.
Yeah,
there's like bits hanging off it, like parts of the heart. And
well, there was the scene that it was featured. The floor was covered in water, but the Regina Blitz was just a few inches above it, perfectly pristine, not touched. I wrote down quite a few points about this movie, and I'd like to go through them, but some of them are spoilers.
Sure.
Yeah, one of them is Regina Blitz.
And the bit where the D-Rex came out and it was just covered in sponsors like a NASCAR.
Yeah.
What's DNA.
What's the thing called? It's just a walking product placement. He's got one of the Raptors just says like... Kiss Radio. And he opens his mouth and like the latest chart toppers.
And they can re-edit it and re-release it every 2-3 years, and they can have different music play.
The other points that I want to say, we'll get into spoiler territory, but yeah, product placement. It was just that one scene that I really noticed that all. I think there must have been. Oh yeah, there was a car at one point.
And oh boy, I really wanted a particular brand of crisps at one point.
Was it Lay's?
Yeah, it was Lay's.
Yeah. We don't get Lay's here, do we? Unless it's an American import.
I bought some in Disneyland Paris.
Did you?
My son asked if we could have cheese flavor, and I bought cheese flavor, but I forgot. This is Disneyland Paris. French don't muck around with cheese, so that's just something to watch out for.
Is Lay's basically Walkers but with more GMOs?
Possibly.
Essentially. Was there anything? Give me your thoughts about the movie, mate. Like, are there any more pros and cons?
Product placement.
Yeah.
We're just doing the movie's job for it. What we talked Gareth Edwards. I think it's quite telling that the most famous role Scarlett Johansson plays are all mercenaries.
Is it?
Just kind
of. So we got Black Widow. What was the other ones?
This one.
Lost in Translation. You know, when she was like beating the hell out of Bill Murray.
She was sent to kill Bill Murray because they fell in love.
Yeah, that was the original script for Kill Bill, but they had to change it because it just wasn't.
And then, Rupert Friend. Was it just me that thought like Rupert Friend turned up and he looked super fake tanned? But I thought, okay, that sort of fits with his character. His character is like a money man, super into, okay, these are all appearances. I got to look good. But then Scarlett Johansson turned up and she looked super fake tanned. I thought, okay, well, maybe maybe she's just done a mercenary job in a sunny place. And then Jonathan Bailey turned up, and he was super faked tanned, crunching his mints. And I just thought, almost everyone in this movie looks like they've spent 12 hours too long on a tanning bed.
Do you know what I think it was?
Go on.
I think they went out and shot all the scenes on the island first, and then everything else was shot afterwards, and then they just happened to be tanned.
Maybe
that would make the most sense.
Simple.
Yeah, that probably isn't what it is. But the thing is, I don't know enough of Rupert Friend to know that he wasn't fake tan. So, like, I didn't have a point of reference. I just saw him as Rupert Friend.
I just found it really, really distracting.
Really? Are you used to seeing him a lot more pale?
Were tinned orange. Well, as in not just him, but just most of the
everyone
cast.
else.
If it was just one character, I thought, I would think, okay, that's their character. They are a fake tanner. But almost the entire cast. Just had a tinge of orange. I thought it was weird.
Wow.
I liked that.
I liked Altoids. Kept coming in.
I love Altoids.
I love Altoids breath mints.
I love. And then we'll just put the audio in.
And then Altoids fly in your mouth.
Yeah. I thought it was quite amusing that the scene with the T-Rex also revolved around getting hold of a lifeboat. Because I do think that
is that a spoiler by any chance that the T-Rex is in it?
Spoiler. Well, that's the thing. The T-Rex is used like an ace card in most of the movies.
Yeah.
At least they didn't do the thing where, after the movie comes out, one of the producers or the director says, "Oh, well, it's the same T-Rex as in the original movie, and that makes our movie good."
If you look at the scars,
it's the original. I'm sat there thinking, that the movie's good now. Then, I don't.
How many times?
I don't know if that was intentional. That the T-Rex is the life raft is the metaphor for using the T-Rex to try and save the movie.
I don't think. I think if it was, then that's very meta.
It amused the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But I liked that scene. I thought it was quite engaging.
I thought it was good. Yeah, very edge of your seat, like I said. There was one moment that seemed to defy physics, and I'll talk about that in spoilers during that live draft scene.
Okay.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it. I'll write it down so I don't forget. But without spoiling it too much, I think that's all you can really say. As a whole movie, I found it frustrating because I loved looking at it, but then I was like, this story is quite play by numbers.
It's like I said, I think the script is incredibly dumb in places. Yeah. The dialogue is shoddy at other times. It's not even human. It doesn't sound. It sounds like they're almost stitching together 3 separate conversations that are about the same topic. So the dialogue doesn't quite line up. They are all talking about the same thing, but the questions and the responses and the back and forth doesn't quite match up. I think those quieter moments are simply filler for people to, if they need to, get their breath back. However, I would say a bit like that T-Rex scene, it's not a patch on the original. The tension in that scene could have been amazing. Okay, she has to do something. Let's not get into it because it would be spoilers. But it doesn't get anywhere near the first. And I think if it uses a telescope, it can just about see the second movie.
I think it's trying really hard to recapture the magic of the first movie, even to the point where just completely disregarding any of the Jurassic World sequels.
And to say that it's better than the Jurassic World movies, which I think it is not really saying much.
Yeah.
Damning with faint praise.
Having said that, my personal rating for this would be a chatting, I think, with a G, chatting. Just split down the middle.
Yeah.
I think most of the chatting just goes to the visuals, the action set pieces, and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be lying if I didn't say there were some moments that I was entertained, and I was. But, the rest of it was a little bit whatever.
Yeah.
This script is written by ChatGPT.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like that.
Potentially. What about you?
I would agree with your
lower.
points about, there were points where I thought, okay, this is entertaining enough. I'd give it a chat eye. I wouldn't go any higher than that.
Okay.
I think we've said all we need to say without getting into spoilers.
So let's do spoilers.
Okay.
Just quickly. Quick spoilers. 5 minutes spoiler time.
5 minutes spoiler time.
I've got my notes.
Go ahead.
I've got my notes.
Should we do the raft scene?
The raft scene, yeah. So there was a moment where the lifeboat inflates, and then it goes zoop, and then it covers the whole of the outline of the T-Rex, and then it falls down within a split second, and he's gone like a David Copperfield magic trick.
I liked that. I liked that touch. Did you like it?
I thought like, hey, that's pretty neat, but it makes no sense. Like,
it makes no sense, but it makes no sense in the same way that Clark Kent taking his glasses off turns him into like. Let me say that again. It doesn't make sense.
Superman,
the same way that Superman's disguise is a pair of glasses. That doesn't make sense. But there's a charm to it.
Yeah. So that's that part that I was going to say. But you liked the life raft sequence.
I liked it. I didn't love it. Yeah, it was. I think they were sort of going for a retread of the scene in the original where the T-Rex first shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Famous for the big stomps and the water shaking.
Mm-hmm.
This scene, it had everything that it needed. It had, she crosses the water, then she sees the T-Rex, so then it's that decision of, do I go for the life raft? Do I sneak back? Will I be able to do either one in time? Do I open the life raft now? Do I drag it across the water and open it? Like, what do I do? There's a lot of decisions that she has to make. Mm-hmm. And either one of them could go wrong. So in theory, I should be feeling quite tense watching it. I felt halfway tense. For me, it wasn't edge of the seat.
Oh, okay.
It was fine. It was probably the sequence that stood out for me.
Mm-hmm. I quite like the bit where the T-Rex was trying to eat the little girl, and then you could see the teeth, and it looked like a practical effect where the teeth was trying to get through the rubber.
Through the raft.
I thought that was quite neat.
Yeah, I liked that little setup that she was under the raft.
Yeah. And then you were just kind of like thinking, oh my goodness, how's she going to get out of this one?
Yeah.
That for me, I was on the edge of my seat, but I guess it's different for apples and oranges, right? What else have I got?
What about that? I thought it was interesting. This would be major spoiler. Do you think it would have been better having the opening scene be the one where the mosasaur attacks the family's boat?
That would make more sense setting them up
I was thinking that would, for me, be the better opening because it doesn't reveal so much of your big D-Rex abomination monstrosity.
Yeah.
And
you really didn't need that opening. That whole scientist opening, and also the contrived like little wrapper that goes into the thing.
Yeah, it just felt like, let's have a shoddy version of the opening from the first movie.
Yeah.
But not with dinosaurs. And it's weird that the movie makers seem to think that the viewers of these movies are sick of dinosaurs. I don't know if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't think that these weird CG monstrosities are what you should be replacing them with. And it's a very strange thing where if you look at the movie, anything beyond surface level, the movie itself seems to be making an argument that you will not like this movie as much as the original.
Is that what you got from that?
That's what I got from reading any sort of subtext into it.
Okay.
If you have the original dinosaurs representing the first 3 movies, let's say, for argument's sake, even if the third one's not anywhere near as good as the first 2, in my opinion. And then Jurassic World comes along and it's, hey, Indominus Rex, ID Raptor with his library card, whatever. That's the newfangled dinosaur, right? In the movie.
That's the scientist dinosaur.
So in the story, that's the newfangled, okay, we've created this thing using science and other things. In the same way that those movies were very much CG heavy compared to maybe the first 2. Now, the first 2 had a lot of CGI in, right? Yeah. But nowhere near as much as the Jurassic World ones.
No, they've all more or less just replaced them all with CGI now.
Yeah, so the metaphor would be, okay, this Indominus Rex, this D-Rex is representative of these newer films. And the argument in the story is that, well, this is what we're replacing the T-Rex with because people want more. People want bigger. People want like crazy. People don't want the natural thing. And then the characters in the movie, I don't know.
They all die.
No, yeah, they all die. Spoiler. It just seems to me, my reading of the film is itself arguing that it shouldn't be.
Sure. Well,
for me,
if that's what you took from it,
none of these abominations are anywhere near as good as the original dinosaurs. That's why they keep coming back and playing the T-Rex like it's an ace card. Hey, we need some excitement. Let's bring a T-Rex in, obligatory T-Rex scene, please.
Yep. Anyway, I like the scene where the guy stops his pee midstream.
Which is a metaphor for direct to streaming.
There's no subtext in that. That was just a gag. No, I get what you mean. Speaking of which, that pee scene did make me laugh.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, where the joke is he would have peed his pants anyway. But he was just carrying on from
I quite
the
like
pee.
how it was shot as well, though, because it did look like an old school like rear projection.
Oh, yeah?
I quite liked that look.
Did you find that there were I can count at least 3 times in the movie where the character's like, oh no, he's behind me, isn't he?
Well, it's dinosaurs. Along with, well, that just happened. And this is what we mean by the characters being paper thin.
Yeah.
This is why they brought the 3 original characters back as well. That's why they brought Laura Dern back. That's why they brought Sam Neill back. That's why they brought Jeff Goldblum back for the
previous movie,
in the third Jurassic World, which
we both haven't seen. Yeah. I've got another thing that I wanted to say. I thought the helicopter moment was quite cool when Mahershala Ali, or was it Jonathan Bailey? One of them had like the flare and they're like, "Hey, it's us, come here!" And then the helicopter light was coming, but the helicopter was actually in the dinosaur's
It comes
mouth,
through the fog and you see it.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, that's very cool."
And as a design, I enjoyed the D-Rex more than the other.
The
bland.
ID Rex.
Yeah.
it was bordering on a xenomorph, wasn't he?
Well, I liked that they made it a horrific creature, really, like extra limbs that shouldn't really be there, and like the head was sort of big and bulbous. The Indominus Rex was like, hey, we've created something sleek. Yeah, but it's also boring.
Yeah, he was also white, like bright white, just like a shiny new Apple product, the iRex. What did you think about? This is my final thought. The fact that Mahershala Ali's character didn't die, because I quite
sequel, baby.
He said at one point, it was like, "I'm never going to let you die, young child. I'll never. You'll see me die before you die." He basically said to the screen, and then I was like, "Oh, he's going to die, isn't he?" Yeah. And then they teased it that he was going to die, but then suddenly a flare comes up and then he gets saved, and he's fine. Turns out they actually shot 2 versions, one with him dying, one with them, and then they did test screenings, and then people didn't like the fact that he died, so they brought him back.
Okay.
Yeah. What's that thing called when you bring people?
Do all those people that went to the test screening, do they get a producer credit as well, or?
Yeah.
Ah, good
Why
for
not?
them. Good for them.
What's that thing called when you bring people into a room and then you ask them questions? There's a word for it. It's a buzzword for it.
Focus group.
Focus groups, yeah. Speaking of focus groups, here's the mid-break jingle.
Do you want to do mini F1 review?
We could do mini F1 review / pitch.
Go on, go.
Have you seen F1?
I haven't seen F1, but you
haven't seen F1.
You can give us all a review.
Come on,
pit stop, baby.
Here's my F1 review. Did you like Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah.
Do you like vehicles / machines going really fast?
I guess.
Do you like sports movies?
Sometimes.
Do you like Brad Pitt saying, "Hey, I'm Brad Pitt"?
I prefer Mahershala Ali doing it, but go ahead, continue.
Then you will hate this movie based on your responses. I thought F1 was pretty good, but it did feel like Top Gun Maverick on land.
Did it feel like Top Gun Maverick on land, but also just being a big old propaganda piece for F1 in real life?
Because there were quite a few times where they had... Well, it was famously shot on actual F1 circuits.
Yeah.
And during F1 races. And they also featured a lot of other F1 drivers, like Max Verstappen or the other one, Lewis Hamilton, and others. And to be honest, those are the only 2 names that I recognized. And I thought, oh, the other people must have been extras.
Fangle.
Zoom, zoom, bragadoon. Long story short, I thought the movie was fine. Story-wise, it was fine. It was your classic sports movie setup. It's someone who has been out of the game for too long, but is coming back for one last ride, and he does it. And then at some point, too long. And there's loads of fast cars, and it's exhilarating. You're like vroom, 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 and there's love interest.
I used to race against Drive McGraw and Zoom Zoom Pickens. Who are these new kids nowadays? I don't know any of them.
That's all I can really say about F1. I thought it's not a movie that I necessarily would have gone to. I'm not a huge fan of sports movies. I could see a lot of parallels to other racing movies like Rush or Gran Turismo and other sports movies that follow the same formula. It is the same formula, but done well, you know. That's about it, really. And Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt, and the rest of the cast is the rest of the cast. Yeah. And that's my rating. I'd give it a chatting pit. 4 pit stop,
wow,
baby.
That's a high rating.
I mainly gave it because it was a pun on pit stops.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Realistically, I would have probably given it a chatting pie. Actually,
I hated it, but okay. I was just curious as to whether it was just a big, a long advert for F1.
It is. It is absolutely a long advert for Formula One.
Okay. Anyway, should we pitch? Let's combine all three.
All three, baby. 28 days later.
28 laps later.
Sorry, 28 laps later. 28 dinosaur
28 million years in the making.
28 F1 dinosaurs later.
F28 with dinosaurs.
God, how many keys do you have on your keyboard for F28?
Oh, I
it's
know.
Going to be this. It's going to be this
That's
long.
more than twice as long as a normal keyboard.
Yeah. Hot diggity.
You'd have to
Sign
be
me up, baby. 2 tickets to this movie, please.
2 tickets to Dinosaurs Drive Cars Away from Zombies, please.
Right. So how do we do this?
Setup?
The dinosaurs are cars, and they are also running away from the 28 zombies that are part of the story. Somehow.
So is this like one of those like Saturday morning cartoons we watch as kids where the dinosaurs transform into cars?
Yes. Wait, no. So, you know how every Jurassic Park movie / Jurassic World movie say, we can't land on this island. This island's nothing but trouble. The island is infested with zombies and dinosaurs, and the only way to get out is using F1 cars.
not like the clown car they have in Jurassic World Rebirth.
There was a clown car in there?
Not a clown car, but yeah, pretty much. The car that Rupert Friend was driving. I forgot to talk about that bit, where it's just every time you see it, it's like that siren from Kill Bill was going off every time.
Yeah.
and then he gets picked up and eaten.
And
okay. So it could be the people behind Formula One.
Yes.
Are trying to come up with an exciting new racetrack. Because people are bored of F1 now. It's just cars driving around in a circle, polluting the earth, killing everyone.
Well, these are the fastest cars around, right? So what else?
How can we make it more difficult?
What can we make? How can we make this?
Let's go to Zombie Dinosaur Island.
There's 2 tiers.
This plan will never work. This island is bad news. Yes, it's going to make us trillions of dollars.
28 Days Later was one of the first movies with fast zombies, right?
Now they're in cars.
Now they're in cars.
You could have
so the zombies are the ones driving.
One of the drivers is like waiting at the pit stop, and he's like, "God, why aren't they changing my tires?" And then you just see the car door get ripped off, and then Alpha just and grabs him, pulls him out, jumps in behind the wheel, starts the engine, drives off.
Yeah,
there we go.
Jurassic Zombie Land.
But the zombies are not trying to kill; they just want to win. They want to win the race.
Yeah, that's right. But the zombies don't know what they're doing because they are just zombies. They're full of this rage virus, right? But the rage is what makes them drive.
Yeah.
So
I like that without any reason that we will explain.
Yeah.
It's clear that the zombies just want to win.
There are movies, right, where they turn some sort of bio tragedy, whether loads of people have turned into certain things and made it into a game show, right? That is a plot of a movie. I feel like I've heard of that before.
So you think we should do the same where it's...
Do the same with them, but we put the zombies into the race cars, but they're racing away from the D-Rex.
Are the dinosaurs put in there on purpose, or do the dinosaurs just wreak havoc because they show up?
A bit of both. There's 2 levels. There's one where they are just there, and there's another one where it's kind of like the Olympics, where you have different versions of different sports, right? So there's like long run, there's shot put, but this one is like drive away from the dinosaurs.
You can tell Leslie's sporty because instead of coming up with an actual Olympic event, he just calls it the long run.
Wait, is it not called the wrong one? Well, I'm thinking of the long jump. I'm sorry. Yeah.
What's that famous event named after the town of Marathon? We'll call it the long run. I'm here at the finish line of the long run.
Welcome to Chatting Pitch, where Matthew picks out my
faults. Everyone else's faults.
Anytime I've made a mistake of some sort, it's the butt of the joke.
So these dinosaurs, right?
Yes.
Are we going with original dinosaurs or abominations of dinosaurs?
I mean, those would be different leagues, won't they? You have, you've got F1 and F2 and F3.
Ah, okay. Right. So like F5 would be like baby Triceratops.
Those little
just
baby
walking
ones.
around. It's like,
that's right.
You're on go-karts. It's for the
F1,
kids.
you get the ID Rex.
Yeah.
Who's
F1
keeping score, by the way.
Release the ID Rex.
No, ID Rex is the ID Rex is the commentator.
Okay.
Who's the guy who keeps score? The umpire? I don't know. Goes to show how much I know anything about sports. I'm not a sports person.
Sure, you can make it an umpire if you want.
Dino tennis.
It's fine. Dino tennis.
So we've just established that it's not just racing. It could
be that the makers are discussing things and they're saying, hey, what's the competition? Well, the plan is to set up zombies in cars. Why are there dinosaurs? Oh, that's dinosaur tennis.
When you ever go to a zoo and you go and see all the different animals, and then for some random reason they'll just have dinosaur land.
Yeah. Because people like dinosaurs.
Case in point.
Okay. Yeah. So if the zombies driving cars not enough for you, we got dinosaurs.
Yeah. Switch it up, baby. And maybe there could be a roulette where you don't know which one you're going to get. And it's like the mystery box. You pay for a ticket. What's it going to be today? Is it going to be zombies? Is it going to be dinos?
Zombies driving cars, dinosaur tennis.
But we all know that this cannot be the end of the story because this is a recipe for disaster. Fast cars, zombies, dinosaurs, mutant dinosaurs, long run.
Frankenstein's monster playing bowls. You don't know what you're going to get.
Dracula setting up the photo booth. Come take a picture with me, blah.
My face never shows in photos.
I'll never tell.
Why did they ask me to set it up?
Yeah, it's like the Universal Monsters, right? Who else we got? The Invisible Man. That's just the corner with nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people pay.
We fired him 2 years ago, but people keep coming.
But no one knows the difference because you never were able to see him anyway.
We just have a guy with a fishing line picking things up, and ooh.
So how do things go wrong? Here's what we need to establish.
I don't think anything's going to go wrong in this situation.
Oh, so this is really just
come up with it's 2 hours where the whole setup makes it look like things are going to go wrong, but actually things go rather splendidly.
Okay, so this isn't a movie. This is a live stream of a live event.
Yeah, everything goes well. All the families that go, they all do the ticket roulette, but they all get the events that they want. And the dad gets to see the zombies drive it, and the zombie who wins is like, lifting the trophy up, and one of his arms falls off, but that's okay. And
he's still got one. Yeah.
And the other one fires a champagne cork out of a bottle, and it takes his eye out, but that's okay because he can race again tomorrow. And the mum gets to watch Frankenstein bowls, and she loves it. And all the grandparents are there as well. All the kids get to see dinosaur tennis. And
when you say bowls, are you talking about the old-fashioned game bowls where you
not bowls, bowls,
not bowls? Some people don't know what bowls are. Some people know. Oh, what's that one? Curling. Yeah.
Mummy's doing curling.
Mummy's curling. Yeah. Van Helsing archery.
He's good with a crossbow.
Might as well. He's good with a crossbow. There are others. I think that's where we draw the line.
Michael Myers, knife throwing.
And this is all taking place on that one island.
Party Island.
Easter Island.
Easter Island, yeah.
Yeah. With those big heads. But the big heads now have bunny rabbit ears.
The big heads are the commentators.
Welcome to Easter Island.
Easter Island! Fireworks go off.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah. Great. I think we got ourselves a movie.
Great.
Oh, live event.
And nothing goes wrong.
Nothing goes wrong.
I'm insistent on that plot point that nothing goes wrong.
It's what Hollywood wants, right?
Yeah.
If focus groups have taught us anything, it's like people don't want things going wrong.
And at the end of the movie,
right.
we can have producer credits for all the people that are in the focus groups, whose
Yeah.
opinions we ignored.
That's right.
Why doesn't anything happen in this movie? Oh, shut up, focus group individual number 7.
They have
You
those
make it
dials
look like
which
the
go
T-Rex
yes.
is going to eat someone, but then he just hits a backhand volley. Why? Oh, shut up, focus group member number 2.
What's that one where they have the big ball on the string and then like spin it around and around and around and then it goes flying?
Oh, I can't remember what it's called. I know what you mean. Though. You play it in the back garden, right?
Yeah, spinning ball.
You got the metal pole and the string.
Yeah,
and the tennis ball.
yeah.
And you whack it, and you have to be the first one to get it all the way around, right?
You take the ball off, and then you have those Velcro pads on your hands. And then you go,
yeah.
Yeah.
Me and the 4-year-old have got some of those.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been Chatting Pitch.
Where nothing goes wrong.
Where nothing goes wrong. The end.
Also, I found it. I'm not a fan how Jurassic World Rebirth. They talk about, hey, we're going to have more practical effects. We don't want to rely on CG stuff like the Jurassic World movies of yore. And then it opens with CGI capuchins, and then it ends with a CGI recreation of the final shot of Jurassic Park, but not as good.
Wasn't the whole movie CGI?
I mean, a lot of it was.
I mean, like the actors, that's why they were all fake tanned, right?
Yeah, because the algorithm got it wrong.
Yeah. Chatting Pitch has been brought to you by Leslie Way and Matthew D. Smith. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to listen to others and maybe even subscribe. You can follow us on the website, formerly known as Twitter.
Listen to us on Spotify or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Leslie and Matthew have their own side hustles as well. Feel free to check out Leslie's YouTube channel or Matthew's Medium blog. Links in the description. If you want anything else, we might have other links in the description if we think of anything interesting to add. Thank you for listening. I love you.